Hello folks, and welcome to another live and another drawing session. And today we're going to focus on a little bit of, chit chat. We're going to talk about anxiety, ways of dealing with anxiety, and also how you can use art as a way to support those feelings, that anxiousness. Lost a pencil. Pencil. That's a pen. Let's use that one. So that's what we're here for today for the live. And when I've been going later on YouTube on the live, there's been quite a few more people. So I thought I'm going to start doing that and start doing some later live sessions for people to join in with if they feel that they need some support in some way, or they just need somewhere to talk or to just be and to just relax. And also talking about ways of how you can use art in everyday life, and you can use drawing, painting, crafting, could be diamond art, it could be embroidery, to be honest with you, it can be anything in life to help you calm the mind and relax from the feelings that anxiety brings up a lot of the time. Because a lot of the time, the reason why we get anxiety is because we're not pleased with the place that we're in, and we're often thinking about the past, thinking about the future, and not being present. There's a lot of people have a dislike for the present moment, and they don't want to be in the present moment because that's where a lot of issues lie, in the present moment for them. But that's the first place you've kind of got to look, really. You've got to be at peace with the present moment. And one of the best ways you can do that is by doing something in a mindful nature, within that mindful practice, such as art, or something that's going to connect you to your soul, basically, to just allow you to just take away the chatter of the mind. So a friend of mine and a client likes to doodle things and draw things and just make and doodle patterns and mandalas. You know, I've done a few lives on here where I've done various mandalas, different shapes. I've even done videos where I've helped you or shown how to do mandalas. So there are some of my live videos where I've actually demonstrated how you can do a mandala, but also just drawing the mandala, because it takes in your focus and your attention into that, then it really helps to take your mind away from all the chatter that might be going on in the background that could be causing some disruption in your day, in your week, whatever it might be. And it's that thought process of when we start getting into those anxious places, we're never here, we're never grounded, we're never centered in that present moment. We're always elsewhere. We're always the appointment next week, or the thing that you have to do in an hour, and it's getting you really anxious and worked up about. Or it's things that you're worrying about from the past that you're bringing into the present. But when you work in kind of like more of a spiritual context and a healing context, there is no past or future. There is only now. So that for a lot of people is a big thing to get across, to sort of challenge yourself with. Because we're often looking elsewhere for an answer, and that usually is, but we never find the answer. So we're always kind of cogitating in the mind. We're wondering, we're pondering, we're getting frustrated, we're getting angry, worried, whatever it might be about whatever situation it could be. Hi Samad, how are you? Are you well? Thanks for joining the live. If it's your first time to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. A lot of the live videos that I'm doing lately are going to be constructive help videos while I'm doing some sort of art or creativity, to be able to give you some feedback of things that you may be able to help yourself with in everyday life. So a little bit of my background in my 20s, mid 20s through to early 30s. I suffered a lot with, hi Abdul, I suffered a lot with mental health, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, skin flare-ups, disorders in the skin, like psoriasis, dermatitis, things like that. So I know exactly what it's like. I know how bad it can be and how crazy the mind can get at times. So yeah, I totally sympathize with anyone that's going through that, and that's why through this channel, through the power of YouTube and other areas that I use, I'm able to try and support on some level from my experience, and also with the practices that I use to be able to support and help others that might be going through some sort of anxiety, some sort of crisis, and also by using mindful tools as well, such as drawing, such as writing, journaling, just things that you really love in everyday life to connect you back to you, to help you to let go of what's going on in here and focus on what's going on very much in the present moment. The sketching, the drawing, the creating, the doing. Thank you all for loves, by the way. Hi Dominic. I started this a few days ago, so it's it's work in progress. So I'm getting there, but I'm trying to copy that. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's a photo that I took a while back in Whitby when I was in North Yorkshire, in Whitby, and so I'm trying to recreate that into a pencil drawing. So I do art as well. I do a lot of art. I am an artist. These are all pieces of art done behind me as well. But I'm also a Reiki practitioner as well, and I do a lot of meditation, teach meditation and meditation coach. I also do EFT, which is the emotional freedom technique, and hypnotherapy, Indian head massage, those sorts of things. So very relaxing practices to help you calm the mind and ease anxiety and things like that. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Thank you very much. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the love. I've just seen some more pop up there. If you're new to the channel and this sort of content is something that is kind of like made you think this is really something that I need to get into, or I need to listen a little bit more, I need to focus a little bit more on me, then a lot of my lives now are going to be focused around being a support, almost like a support structure, but also being able to give you constructive ways of being able to help yourself as well in everyday life. So do feel free to hit that subscribe button, so when I do go live you'll be able to see me and connect. And also I'm going to try and go live later in the day. It seems to be a good time later in the day. You seem to get more interaction, more people on the lives, and more connection. And that's what this is all about. Being able to do this, going on YouTube and doing a live and speaking to however many people are on there, is just like amazing. That you can do that. So thank you for being here, and thank you for keeping the channel going as well, because even if you don't subscribe and if you're just here as a viewer, it all helps with the channel, it all helps with the channel's growth, and that may help somebody else along the way as well. And that's what it's all about. It's just about being able to create a supportive community, really, where there is there's no judgment. It's just it's your space and time. You're here for what you want to be here for. And some people come on and they don't say anything. They're just here just to watch. They're just here just to listen. And as well, that is totally fine. If that's where you're at, then meet yourself where you're at. That is totally fine. Because we're all in totally different stages as well, on that journey. And it can take a long time. It can take a while to get that confidence to actually be able to talk about yourself, and talk about where you've been or where you are, but also to talk about the journey that you want to take and the person that you want to see yourself as in the future. And a lot of my work that I do, especially through meditation, is to do with visualization. Hi, Deborah. So I mean, visualization is a really, really powerful tool and technique that you can use to start to rewire the brain and create that reality within the now, within the self. So although it may not be happening now, the fact that you're starting to think it, and also with that visualization, you start to feel it. You feel what that is like, being in that place now. Connect to that emotion of how you feel. How does it feel when you're totally at peace? What is that going to feel like? So if you've once you're letting go of this anxiety or whatever you're going through, what does that feel like? What's the end result? Is it extremely peaceful? Is it blissful? Is it euphoric? Is it just quiet? What does it feel like? And really connect to that feeling, connect to that centralized emotion that is driving you towards that. So with the visualization and the feeling, you're then rewiring and repatterning your brain and your psychological processes and your brain processes to actually start to visualize and create that. So you're actually moving forward, albeit very, very slowly, one step at a time. You are moving forward in that direction. So with visualization and with that emotional connection and creation, what then, because we're starting to rewire, what then a lot of people expect is it's like instantaneous. It's going to happen straight away, or it's going to be happening a lot quicker than what it actually does. When in actual fact, it takes longer. It does take time, because if you've been in this state for however many years, you then got to unravel and rewire all that deep programming that you've put into yourself about not being worthy, not being good enough, not having the confidence, not having this. You've got all that stuff that you've had wired into yourself that you need to unravel out of that, out of your mindset, and into a new way of thinking, of feeling, and of being. It is on. Well noticed. Steve Fox, well done. Thanks for joining, thanks for dropping by. And how's your day been? How's everybody else's day been as well? It's been quite, there's been quite a few people popping in and out. So do let us know how your day has been, what you've been up to. Also let me know, like, what in the title made you come here. The title of this live today. If you're not watching it live now and you're watching it later in the future, what was it about the title that drew you here? What was it that was in you that was thinking, I need some of that, or I need a little bit of that? What was it about that brought you here to this channel, to this video today? And also, if it's something that you feel, maybe something that I've said, or maybe something that has resonated with you within the title of the video, then hit the subscribe button, because a lot of the lives that I'm going to be doing in the future, they're going to be more functional. They're going to be more assistive and supportive for you to be able to use different techniques to be able to take away. So how to get rid of overthinking, Steve Fox. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Is it Steve or Stevie Fox? I'm not sure, but Steve Fox. How to get rid of from the overthinking, which is a really good question, and I've just been covering it slightly before you came on the live. But the overthinking, the basic root cause of the overthinking is that you're not at ease with the present moment. So that's the root cause of it. So you're not at peace with where you are in that present moment, because you're cogitating about the future and the past. There's different things that are going on. This could happen, that's happened. You're not very happy with that, or you're worried about something that's coming in the future. So you're not in the present moment. So one really good technique, which I can advise you to do, is basically like a grounding technique, and you can also use it as a visualization technique, and basically, it's following your breathing, it's following your breath, and also when just sit down, close your eyes, just begin by taking a few nice deep breaths in. So 3 nice deep breaths in through the nose. And then you're going to take some nice long slow exhales and really focus on those exhales and just allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to just to calm down a little bit if you can. Okay, and just continue with that. Continue with those deep breaths in and out. And after 3 or 4 nice deep breaths in and long exhales, just return your breathing to its normal pattern. And then I want you to just imagine that when you breathe and you're breathing in, that breath is going all the way down into your feet. So you're going to place full awareness into your feet. You're going to have your feet flat on the ground as well underneath you. And you're going to feel the surface of the ground on your feet, connected to the feet, if you can. And continue imagining that breath. I'll get into that next question in a second, but continue imagining that breath going into the feet. And as with each breath in and each breath out, you become more relaxed, you become more and more centered and more focused on your feet. And you can imagine those feet just going deeper and deeper into the ground and feel them getting heavier and heavier and sinking lower and lower into the ground. And as they sink lower and lower into the ground, then you become more relaxed in mind and body. You become more focused on your breathing. The more focused you become on your breathing, the more relaxed you become. And you just follow that system, follow that routine. There's other different techniques you can use. I call it the 1, 2, 3 technique, which is really good for heightened states of anxiety when the mind is really, really busy. And again, it's just trying to snap your mind out of what is going on in the mind. And the first thing is you're going to, what do you see? What's the first thing that you see? So you're going to find something, so whatever it might be, right in front of you. The second thing is, what does it feel like? Can you touch it? Can you feel it? What does it feel like? What color is it? So really analyze it. So you're taking your mind away from what's going on in here, and you're using your senses. So you're stepping into your senses, your outward senses. And then your third thing is, what do you hear? Is the sounds around you in the room? Is the sounds in the street? Is it the rustling of the trees? Wherever you might be. When I used to get really bad anxiety, I used to go and sit in the park or go and sit in nature, and I would just listen to the breeze, the birds, the trees, and I would just focus on that and just follow my breathing, and eventually everything would just calm itself back down again. So you're welcome. I hope that really helps. If you have subscribed to the channel, check out my Reiki and all things healing playlist. There's lots of stuff on there, but there's also distance healing videos on there. There's meditation videos on there, and there's a lot of stuff that is geared around anxiety, the busy mind, and being able to, and also various tools you can use to ease anxiety outside of yourself, outside of the meditation and the breath work and things like that. So sometimes you used to feel something around you. Yeah, so you're probably very, very sensitive. So most people that get levels of anxiety have some level of sensitivity, or quite high sensitivity level. So what I mean by sensitivity is you're aware of the energy that is around you. So you're probably a very empathic person, and you'll probably be able to walk into a room and you'll be able to sense the energy. You might be able to walk in a room and you'll be able to feel a tension. So if there's an argument about to break out, or if an argument has just broken out, or you'll walk in a room and maybe the energy will just shift, and you'll be aware of that. You'll probably feel it. Most people that have anxiety are very sensitive, and they can feel the energy in a space and in a room. So you've probably got that heightened sense of ability that is within you, and that is what you're feeling around you. You're feeling the energy around you. So it's the energy of either other people, other people's residual signatures of what they leave in everyday life. So if, just as a for instance, if you live in a busy home and say there's a mother, there's a father, there's the children, the mother and the father are always really, really stressed out. They're always really, really busy. They don't really have time to chill, don't really have time to calm down. The kids are just running all over the place, running riot, and it's a really, really busy, active home. They probably don't get a lot of family time together. They probably don't get a lot of family connection. So the energy in the home is going to be quite, it's going to be quite heavy and quite dense, because there's not really a lot of love and support that's gone into that. It's not gone into the home. So someone that's quite sensitive would walk in that home and they'd be able to feel that sort of heaviness in the environment. And also sometimes it can be people that have passed on. So it can be spiritual energy of people that have passed over, because they're just an energy form as well. Sometimes you can feel that as well. Hi Azja, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping on the live. Do hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here, and let me know as well, now that you're here, let me know, what was it in the title that you brought you here? Was it to do with the art? Was it to do with the anxiety? Let me know what brought you here. But I'm doing really well, thank you, and I hope you are too. Do let me know. Yeah, so Stevie Fox, I hope that helps. I hope that explains things a little bit for you with regards to life in general. Life is all about energy. So what we think, what we feel, what we say, what we do, what we eat, how we move, everything in life is energy. Everything that the chair that you sit on, the desk that is in front of me, the pencil, everything is an energy form, just in various frequencies. So some are more dense than others. Obviously, we're quite dense, but our inner being, our spiritual energy, our light, if you want to call it that, is very, very light. So, but we're having a spiritual existence in a human body, which is quite difficult because it's two polar opposites. You've got a very dense, heavy physical body, and then you've also got your spiritual body. But the spiritual body is doing a lot of healing, a lot of learning, and that's what we're getting from our human experiences is how we can learn, how we can heal, how we can develop, and the different things that we need to take in on a soul level, and that starts to retrieve a part of ourselves, and we start to gain more of our own sovereignty and our own power back. And again, that is a big thing to do with anxiety, is not owning your own power, not believing in yourself. You know, that was a big thing for me, was just not having any self-belief, not having any self-confidence. And I still struggle with it now occasionally. I still doubt myself. I still have, these feelings where I'm just thinking, what's the point? I'm not good enough. You know, I still get that every now and again, but nowhere near to the extent that I used to get in my 20s and 30s. You're sometimes antisocial. I wouldn't, it's a funny one, this, because, and I'm not knocking what you're saying, by the way, because a lot of people use it, but I did watch a video a while back, and it was on YouTube, and it was someone was saying, stop using the word antisocial, because antisocial is usually terms someone's behavior, so antisocial behavior. So you're causing bother, riots, whatever it might be, but you can be unsocial, or you can be introvert, but you're not antisocial. I wouldn't, unless you do cause bother, but I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you don't. So it's not antisocial. I wouldn't say that you are antisocial. You're just unsocial. You prefer maybe your own company, or maybe you're more of an introvert and you don't really want to go out that much and mix with that many people. And that's me, really. I used to always follow. The thing about me, I was just talking about like self-worth and confidence. When I was in my 20s, I just followed the crowd. I was like a bit of a sheep. And I was antisocial. Not antisocial, I was just eating my own words now. I wasn't antisocial, I was unsocial, I was introvert. And so, but I just followed the crowd, but it was never really for me. So the going out, that even though I did go out and I got drunk and pissed up and smoked and all this sort of stuff, I was just following the crowd. But it was inside, like in my very being, it was just like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this? But there was a part of me that was craving the attention because I couldn't give myself the attention. So it's a real, when you get into that, start learning about it and how the mind works, it's so paradoxical, it's so polar opposites, because you're craving the attention, but you're giving the attention to other people when you should always be giving it more to yourself, to nurture yourself and grow yourself. Because if you don't grow yourself, you're always going to be that frightened, scared child. You're always going to be in that state where, you just don't know how to be yourself. And you look to other people to image, to mirror. And maybe sometimes you start to live those people's lives. You start living in their reality. You're living in their shadow and not being in your own reality, not being yourself, not being true to yourself. And that for a lot of people as well, by the way, that is very, very scary for a lot of people, because when people start to make their own decisions and they say, you know what, I want to stop drinking, I'm not going to go out anymore, I'm going to focus more on me. As soon as people start doing that, you usually find that people will they'll either not support you, or they will just totally cut connection, which is fine in a way because that's supporting you to become more yourself. But then sometimes inside of us, we're feeling, well, why have they gone? Why are they not talking to me anymore? And in my sort of late 20s, early 30s, that's what happened. Everyone just kind of like disappeared. Loads of people that I used to hang out with and talk to, once I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore and I want to focus more on me, they all disappeared. So that's what happens as well. And that's also what happens when you start going through your own kind of spiritual awakening, because you're connecting more to your soul. You're listening to your intuition. You're listening to yourself. And your soul is saying, this isn't right. You got to sort it out. But the ego often says, no, this is what I need to do. I need this, I need that, I need this many friends because, or I need to, it's all the labels and things on the external. You remember your first beer too. I don't remember my first beer. That was a long time ago. Actually, maybe I probably do remember my first night out when you were legally allowed to drink in the UK when I turned 18. But even when I was a kid, I used to have a little swig of my dad's beer when I was a kid. So, but I used to think, why on earth do people drink this? It was awful. But like I say, you just become more of a follower. But then when you start to actually take your own power back, that upsets people sometimes, because they feel they've probably done something, maybe. So there's a level of their ego coming through, and it's a really difficult one to do. But at the end of the day, you've really got to do it for yourself, and you've got to do it for your own mind and body, because continuing it won't help. It won't serve anything. So yeah, it's a funny one, but it's a tricky one. And obviously, alcohol and anxiety and they do not mix at all. They do not mix well at all. So that's something else you've got to be like kind of really careful with. So yeah, so back then I went a lot into my art and doing a lot of artwork, and also learning how to do learning meditation, which really helped to calm everything down, calm the mind down, calm the thought processes down. And I think meditation should be taught in schools. I think it should become more of a habitual way of being for so many people. And just the other week, I went to. I was invited to go and hold a wellness hour at a factory nearby, because they were having like, so I think it was like a wellness day they were holding. So they had like me doing like meditation and mindfulness techniques, and they had like someone after the lunch break. They had someone doing another wellness thing afterwards. So I think it was something they were focusing on quite a bit. And so I went along to give different tips and techniques of how to be able to support themselves in a stressful environment. And so many people took so much from it because, one, they didn't realize how much their mind was always overthinking and how much they couldn't just bring it down. So it took them a long time to get to that place where we were trying to get to. Then others got into it very easily, but also became very easily distracted as well. So there's always that element to meditation, is the distraction, and it's a little bit of a lesson for life, really, because if we become too distracted with whatever we're doing in our everyday life, if we become too distracted, then nothing's going to get done. And when we go into meditation, there is so much more happening than we realize. We're not just kind of sitting there, eyes closed and focusing on our breath. There is a lot more that's going on internally and behind the scenes. And I think that's something that really needs to be expressed quite deeply about that. So yeah, it really is amazing, and it was amazing how much clarity I got in mind once I did start doing that, once I did start meditating, and I got to the realization of the different things that needed to change, the different things that I needed to do, such as change job, leave jobs, change careers. So meditation gave me so much clarity that I would never, the anxious me, the depressed me, the worried me, would never have ever even probably considered that. It was only till a friend of mine that I met and got in touch with that they'd suggested trying it just to see how I get on and how I respond to it, and I tried it, and it was slow going, it was slow work, it was like just building up the momentum over time. So when I began, it was maybe just a few minutes, and then eventually build it up maybe to 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes, and then half an hour, and just gradually building it up and becoming more focused in the moment, more focused on the breath, and becoming more peaceful in mind and body. So then I got a lot more clarity. If you think of the body and the mind, if you think of it as like kind of a glass jar, and it's filled up with water, and you've got a bit of sand in the bottom. You've got a lid on the top of the glass jar. You're going to shake the jar up, and all this sediment is going to start floating and mixing around, and you can't see through the jar. But when you sit it still and you leave it, everything starts to just settle and relax and falls to the bottom. And then you can see straight through the jar again. You get the clarity, and that's what we're doing in meditation. We're gaining the clarity. The clarity gives us the answers of what we need to do and the different ways we can go about it. And it's down to us as the individual. Are we going to follow that? Are we going to follow that calling that maybe intuitive feeling maybe, or that little voice that's saying, you should be doing this, you should try this. And every time I've followed that little voice, it's always taken me in the right direction. Because it's almost like, if I don't listen to it the first 2 or 3 times, it's almost like that little voice and the universe, God, whatever you want, whatever your belief is, will put me in that place. And sometimes people have to be put into various places in very, very different situations. Sometimes people become very, very ill to be able to see what they need to see. Other people, like myself, go through all the mental health stuff, to then go rock bottom, to then realize actually there's only one way I can go, and that's I have to go back up again. So again, a lot of this is to do with your spiritual awakening, discovering your spiritual self, is that everything is in the present moment. Everything is now. Everything is fleeting, and life is fleeting, but our souls are eternal. But what we do in the here and now, what we do in the present moment, what we do to heal ourselves and balance our minds and bodies, and what we do with our time here on earth, in this vessel, dictates the future, not just for us, but also for the rest of the planet, the rest of humanity. It dictates the future for them as well. So it's not just us, because we are all connected. We have this wonderful connection with everyone on the earth. Spiritually, we're all part of one energy. Whether you want to call it the universe, God, Source, the divine, your Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it, we're all part of that one energy. Going to do a little bit more drawing. But if you've got any questions, if you're new to the channel as well, please do subscribe to the channel. It all helps, the channel to get seen. It helps to support the channel, for me to get more views, but also it helps me to get more messages out there to be able to help anyone that feels called to this channel, that might just need some support or might need a little bit of help in some way. And that's what a lot of the lives that I'm making now, they're going to be more constructive. They're going to be more focused on helping you in some way deal with the different things that we have to go through in everyday life. Hi, Milliam. How are you? Thanks for joining. So while you're here, I'm going to ask you the same thing I've asked everybody else as soon as they've come in. What was it about the title of this video that made you want to click on and go and watch? What was it in the title? Let me know. And also don't forget to like the video if you haven't already, and also subscribe to the channel so you keep updated with when I go live, and also when I release any new content, any new videos. But yeah, let me know, what was it about this video title that drew you here? What was it in the title? What was it that was said that made you think, that sounds interesting? There was no judgment here. We're all here just to support, help, and nurture each other and help each other grow. Hi Abdul, welcome back. Welcome back again. Where did you go? Have you been for your tea? What have you been doing? think the other thing about as well with to do with mental health is um, it's still stigmatized for a lot of people. There's still a lot of stigma around it, you know, and there's also still a lot of confusion around it, and people don't understand it very well, and like mainstream uh, doctors, like general practitioners, they don't know much about it either, and they tend to just sort of medicate you or send you for counselling or some form of therapy, but they don't know much about it either. Thanks for the loves, by the way. Oh, you've had some guests. Jolly good, jolly good. Yeah, so, I mean, when I first kind of like got diagnosed back in, like I say, back in my 20s, it was basically like you went to see your GP, you answered a few questions, they give you a score out of, I think it was 25 or something like that. I think I was like 18, and the higher the number, the worse you are, kind of thing. So then they give you some advice, give you some leaflets, they give you some prescription for some medication, and then off you go, and that was it. And it was kind of like it was your decision of what you need to do. Oh, Mark, I love Mark. Yeah, thank you very much. That's a compliment, actually. I used to watch a lot of Mark's videos. I still do watch them occasionally. So, yeah. Where are you from, Phantom? Yeah, he does more lives now, I think, doesn't he, than actual videos. Um, but yeah, like probably back in my late 20s, early 30s, I used to watch a lot of Mark's videos. I used to buy a lot of his stuff as well. I bought a lot of his um, energy sticks and what have you, the cleansing sticks, and yeah, I watched a lot of his content when I was starting on my I was learning more about crystals, so I obviously a lot of his videos came up about crystals, so it was really interesting. Um, yeah, I watched a lot of his videos before before the pandemic, and then during and after it, yeah, I went off him a little bit, to be honest with you, because he started getting a little bit kind of like heavy, and I didn't really like it. It was, yeah, so every now and again I'll jump on to a video that sounds like it's got more that I'm into. Obviously we know a lot about what's going on globally with all the different regimes and systems that's in place, but sometimes you can go on about it a bit too much, and you just think, it doesn't become like, you don't feel like you're growing with it, you don't feel like you're developing much from it, and sometimes you can leave watching a video feeling a bit depleted and a bit drained, and that's what I was feeling. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to give him a bit of a break because his energy was a bit heavier. But earlier on, I really loved his videos. Hi, Amelia. But I'm in, just to answer your question before, Phantom, I'm in County Durham, up in the northeast. So, as I've mentioned before as well, is if you've just joined, And everyone that's joined this live, I've said the same thing to them, so don't feel like I'm picking you out or anything, because I'm not. But what was it about the video, the title of the video? What was it that brought you here? What was it that made you join? What was it that brought a little bit of intrigue? Is there something within the video title that made you think, I could do a little bit of that? Did I draw them painting? Yeah, I did. There, that's my artwork behind me there, and all around. It's all around the room, and I'm just currently on with this at the minute, which is like a bit of a coastal scene that I'm trying to do between talking. So I've done quite a lot of talking about anxiety and being able to deal with anxiety and being able to help the busyness of the mind. You know, when the thoughts get quite crazy. You were scrolling through the lives and it was my calmness that stood out. Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. So stop scrolling at my live. Good. Well, it's lovely to have you here. It really is. And it really means the world to me that, you know, that my energy felt that good through the scrolling of YouTube to bring you here. So welcome to the channel. So I mean, I do a lot of work with crystals as well, with doing Reiki and hypnotherapy. I do hypnotherapy, Reiki, energy healing. So I do like using crystals as well. I don't use them as much these days, but I do still use them occasionally. And obviously, like things like sound healing. I love sound healing as well, and just the various tools and techniques that we can use to help calm the mind, relax us, get us into the present moment, calm the nervous system. Because I think that's the key to everything in healing is all to do with the nervous system and calming that down. Once you've calmed that down, then all the internal stuff starts to take place. The internal healing starts to happen. That's where the magic starts to happen, really, internally. But when we're constantly in worry or fear or stress, fight or flight, you know, you got all these chemicals and all these hormones that are flying around the body that are not doing you any good as a physical being. So we've got to work with the energy to heal the physical body. That's what it's all about. Remember when you were young, you held a large quartz, you felt great, and you've liked crystals ever since. I felt an energy from the crystal, yeah? They are amazingly powerful tools, you know, and a lot of people just think that they're just like woo-woo and what have you, but there's a lot of scientific evidence now, you know, that shows how powerful crystals are. And, you know, they're used in a lot of modern technology as well, like watches and lasers and DVD players and TVs and things like that. So, and even we contain crystals in our physical makeup. So, yeah, we have crystalline structure as well. And as we awaken that crystalline, we start to go more into that crystalline structure. So your vibration is shifting a lot more. What's my favourite crystal? I think my favourite would have to be amethyst, because it's just such a great all-rounder. It's great for multiple ways of healing. It's great for calming. It's great for meditation. It's great for energy healing sessions. It's great for raising your vibration. It's even good for grounding as well. It's a really, really good all-rounder. So amethyst is probably my favourite. I do have a piece of moldavite as well here, which is there, which I used to wear it all the time. I don't really wear it as much now because I think, to be honest with you, I think it's done what it needs to do for me. So, hey Lewis, it's Fortnite Master. welcome back. I do remember you. But it's been a while. It's been a long time. How are you keeping? Yeah, I bought this piece of Moldavite Phantom. Oh, how long ago now? I've had this probably about maybe 45 now, so maybe be over 10 years, I would say. Oh, you're playing Fortnite while you're talking to me. Oh, there you go. You've got some. That's a bit of a synchronicity for you, isn't it? That must mean you're in the right place. You found the place that you need to be. You need to be on this channel. So yeah, so there's a great synchronistic happening for you. The universe is talking. Yes, I've had this Moldavite a long time, but when I first bought the Moldavite, it was nowhere near as expensive as what it is now. It's ridiculous because obviously there's only so much of it. It's finite. So um, yeah, but I think it was about 50 quid when I bought it just for that. And this now you're probably looking probably nearly £1,000 maybe now if you wanted to get a piece like that now that big. Because all you seem to get now are tiny little slithers and little fragments. You've been good, Lewis. Good to hear. Still gaming hard, I'm guessing. Still gaming well, still playing Fortnite. You like jade, natural ruby, and sapphire. Oh, lovely. Nice. I've never had a piece of ruby or sapphire. I've got a piece of jade somewhere here. Yeah, there. A nice piece of jade that was gifted to me. That was gifted to me actually by a woman when I was working in a coffee shop. Yeah, and she heard me over talking with someone about crystals, so she brought a couple of crystals in, and that was one of them. She said, "Oh, I heard you talk about crystals the other day. I just wanted you to have these." I said, "Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much." So yeah, so it's a piece of jade, and there was something else, and I can't remember what the other one was now. Yeah, but there was two. I might have gifted the second one to somebody else. So Lewis has won on Fortnite today. Have you won on? Is it what Fortnite you've won on, or is it something else you've been playing? Have you been playing a bit of rugby league as well? Is that as a game or in person? I look close to age. I look close in age to you. Perhaps I'm younger. Well, I'm 45 now, so there you go. So I'll let you work out that bit. Oh, in person. All right, cool. At least you're not sat playing a video game or something. You're out and about playing rugby. Oh, that's good. You're 40. Cool. I'm sure you look fine as well. I'm sure you look well. everyone says that I look younger than what I actually am. So I'm the I'm the same age as your dad. Oh crikey! Yeah, I don't know if that classes me. Does that class me as old? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't feel old. I don't feel old at all. And I don't feel any different to, apart from being more mentally healthy and more physically healthy, I don't feel any different to when I was in my 20s, 30s. So, yeah. No, I'm not old. Not at all. Only old at 60. Yeah. Even that now, even that now, you see 60-year-olds, and some 60-year-olds look really good at 60. There's people in the gym that I go to that I coach at as well that are like 70s. One lady nearly turning 80 and she does not look 80, and she's doing pull-ups, she's doing deadlifts. She looks absolutely amazing. She really does. She does so much. She does so much as well. She still works and this, that, and the other. She's got so much in her life, but yeah, she does amazingly well. Absolutely, I think if you've got, as long as you got your health and your mobility, I think that's a big part of it. Definitely. You go to Pure Gym, yeah. Cool. They're quite a big chain, aren't they, Pure Gym? I was looking at one of their PT advert jobs in a town near me. But I don't know what they're like. I don't know what they're like to work for if you're a coach. They're probably all right. A lot of the chains they charge as it's just minimum wage really, and then you have to earn your own after that. £16 a month. Cool. That's really really good, really reasonable. Thanks for all the loves, by the way, and I hope everybody that's been in has subscribed to the channel as well to keep up with my content when I go live next, because you've been a really really lovely bunch to chat to, and there's been some really good connections and vibrations in this live tonight. And I think everybody always comes when they need to be here. You find your people, and they find you when they need to. When they just need to find something. Yeah, the universe works in ways that we just can't mentally comprehend how it works. It just does, and it's all to do with our frequency and where we are within our frequency. So that's kind of like the answer to everything. It's the answer to your anxieties. It's the answer to all your worries is change your frequency. Once you change your frequency, you change your mindset. Once you change your mindset, you become a totally different person. And then once you become that different, I know you subscribe Fortnite, yeah. Once you become that different person, then your reality starts to totally transform. It starts to totally change. Because you get clearer vision. You really do. You get so much more clarity of direction, of where you want to go, the direction you want to take. And you're not so much worried about what people think. You're not so much worried about all the stuff that might come back at you or whatever, because you're stronger for it. And you can just move through it. You move through it with strength, with power, with clarity, with knowing, with direction, and with that sort of intuitive calling of that's where you need to go, that's what you need to do. So what's everybody got planned for the rest of the evening? What you all doing? I know obviously here in the UK it's whatever, it's like 9 o'clock now, so nearly bedtime for me. I'm gonna go to bed about 10. Yeah, probably you're chilling in your bed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd rather have a early night, and I get up fairly early in the morning. I'm usually up about 6ish. I was up at 5. I was up at 5 this morning. But that's only because for some reason I'd booked myself into the gym for 7 o'clock this morning. So I never do that normally, but it was a session I wanted to get to. Oh, you've been to the park, that's good. It's been good weather as well, so it's not been raining for a change. So yeah, it's good to make the most of it in the summer months, isn't it? When you can get out and run about and get some fresh air and get some sunshine, so that's good. I was gonna do I was gonna do a chicken curry for tea, but the chicken hadn't defrosted in time, so we had to have pizza. What a shame, eh? You miss being young. You are young. You are young. I think it's that when you're young as well, you have that. There's no fear. There's not. There's no worries. There's no bills. There's nothing like that. There's none of the adulting stuff that you have to do. Yeah, it was a chicken. It was a barbecue chickeny sort of pizza, so it wasn't too bad. But it wasn't enough chicken on. I needed more protein on it. But never mind. I've had a decent bit of protein today, I suppose. I'll have to do it till tomorrow. I'll start again tomorrow. Yes, the responsibilities and the freedom. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. There was a tornado in the UK this week. I didn't know that. Just being out on your own, no phone, no money, just you and the world. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, it makes you wonder now, doesn't it, when we have these mobile phones, we have all this tech, and how do we manage without it? You know, there wasn't really that many when I was a kid. There wasn't really that many video games. We were just starting to get a few computer games in. I think the Nintendo was just starting to come out in the 90s. So yeah, so before that, I mean, I had a computer, but it was all just playing out in the street, going to the park, having fun, knocking on people's doors, running away, you know, and I know that's the trouble, not knowing what solitude feels like. You know, solitude is a great it's a great tool to have. You know, but when you're constantly available with a phone, you're constantly on the other end of the line. It becomes draining, doesn't it? You have to just turn it off sometimes. Or I tend to put it in do not disturb, so I just don't get any notifications for a while, and it just gives me a chance to just breathe, just to stop. Because we're so at the mercy of it all. It does feel scary to be disconnected because as soon as you haven't got your phone on you, you think, oh my God, where's my phone? Yeah, absolutely. Also, it was Thursday, the tornado. It's trying to catch up with the. Yeah. Whereabouts was it, Lewis, the tornado? Whereabouts in the country was it? Do you remember? Yeah, there is. There's way too much reliance on it because everything's in the palm of your hand. It's all there. And I think that's where a lot of, I think that's where a lot of ADHD and stuff like that comes from. Because we've got so many different things on the go all at once, we can't fix our attention. We're overstimulated. You've got the TV, you've got video games, you've got your phone in your hand, you've got your iPad, you've got whatever else is happening. So your brain is so overactive um, and especially now at young ages, babies. You see babies and young children in pushchairs, and they get an iPad shoved in front of them to sort of like keep them quiet and keep them occupied. But then you got the LED flash of the screen as well, which affects your brain function and it affects all that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre stuff when you start looking into it. It was in Yorkshire. Ah, right, okay. It's a big county, Yorkshire. You got North Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, South Yorkshire. I can't remember where you are, Lewis. Where are you in England, in the UK? Were you over like near Manchester somewhere? I can't remember. So we've had some really good conversation. The first half an hour I talked a lot about anxiety. There was a couple of people in that were looking for tips on how to calm a busy mind. I've also asked anybody that's come in and anybody that's joined, I've asked them the same question. What was it about the title of the video that drew them here as well? So we've had some really good responses about that. And then we've just been chatting about middle of Leeds and oh yeah, over that way. I knew there was somewhere around that way. Yeah. And then we've just been chatting about bits and bobs as people pop in. So it's been really good. It's been really good fun. It's been really good to chat. It's been really good to connect. And I hope everybody's subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, then do subscribe to the channel so we can keep in touch moving forward. I'm going to try and do more lives later in the day because it seems to be where more people are around and available and are online. And also more content for you guys to sort of take away to be able to use in your own everyday life. So whether it's to do with anxiety, depression, just managing things in life as well, just being able to live in a more harmonious way, then some of the tools and techniques I'll be sharing on these lives will be able to help you do that as well. It's been lovely to meet you as well, Phantom Angel. Thank you for all your comments and your back and forth and your interaction. It's been lovely. It's been lovely for the compliments as well about age and looking good and looking a bit like Mark Byersky as well. It was just down the road from where you live. Well, at least you haven't been blown away, Lewis. That's good. That's good. So I'm going to head off, guys, because I've been on for like an hour and 10 minutes now, but it's been wonderful to chat. And keep in touch on the channel. You know, check out the videos. I've got lots of videos. They get scheduled to go live every Monday and Friday, and scheduled now up until September-ish, I think. So yeah, so keep a lookout for them, and I'll see you in another live or another video very soon. But do take care, watch what you're doing, and bye for now, and have a wonderful, wonderful day and evening. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm your Mark substitute. So so welcome. Yeah. So see you again soon. Take care. Much love. Bye for now. Bye bye.